Yo, podcast land. Welcome to another exciting, exclusive I Am Who They Want sponsorship segment. And with me today, co-hosting beside me, first of all, let's give the roses where the roses are due. We have the lovely lady, Tasha. How you doing?
Hey everyone, how you doing tonight out there? We've got an excellent show, exciting show.
What you say? It's just too exciting because we have an icon, a mogul. I'm talking about just one of the most awesomest people you could ever meet on this planet. And she's here on Who They Want tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the fashionista, the icon, Miss Jacqueline J. Love Galloway. How you doing, lady?
How are you? Wonderful. I'm happy
fantastic.
to be here. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Jackie, we have you up in here tonight. We're just going to talk about all the wonderful things you've done, the wonderful person you are. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I know you got a lot to say, a lot to offer us, some good inspiration. So I'm going to let the CEO start this one off. Go ahead, Steady.
All right, then. So, after that wonderful introduction, why don't you just tell the listeners exactly who Miss J. Love is?
Oh, okay. Let's do it this way. J. Love. I'm Jackie Love Calloway. And I've been in this business over 30 years. We started when we were babies in dancing school. My siblings and I, all of us, from my sister Lisa to Kim to Derek. And we started at Ernest Johnson when we were kids, toddlers. My mother did the great thing, and my grandparents, they were heavily involved in our careers and in our life, doing different things as family structure. So that went on to be successful. You know what? I thank God that I did finish dancing. I stopped at 16, but I wanted to do fashion even when I was 16. I had it in me. And at that time, with your moms and different things, all the stuff when I was in high school, I was always that fashionista in high school, from even in junior high, let's put it back, elementary school. Everything had to be right on me. It was just who I was. My aunt would sit and talk to me also, and she would tell me, she said, you have a gift in you. You have a really, really awesome gift. She wanted to send me to a Fille d'Ivoire, but a Fille d'Ivoire at that time was very expensive. But come to find out, I didn't know my mother went there. Mom and her sisters went to a Fille d'Ivoire. They had to change 3 times a day. This family was structured with the dressing, just everything, with the etiquette, the whole thing. And that etiquette goes a long way, a long way. We need that, that structure, especially in our lives, in our business, the things that we do. People will always remember. My grandfather always says, be kind. Always be kind to people. Even if they do you won't be kind, because God takes care of that, but always be kind, So as time went on, I always was into modeling and fashion. During high school, when my mother took us, my parents, my mother and my stepfather, Leroy Washington, and my mom, they took us out of here and they sent us. We got a house in Brentwood, Long Island. So from there, I think that was the best move that they ever did for the education. And a lot of our siblings, I'll put it this way, a lot of the kids that I went to school with, they lived out in Harlem and Brooklyn, and their parents worked for the city. So that way they commuted all the time. And that's when I met Biz,
Lucky.
Yeah. So Biz and I, like I said, we're going to put that in. We met when we were in junior high school, all the way through high school. We graduated. All of us was tight. All of us. We did. We had a crew. My girls, I was always, everything I do had to be okay. And, we had a great time. And I was in a dance crew too. But like I said, Biz was always, I'm going to add that because Biz was very close to us as a dear friend and as a family member. My sister went to school with Craig Mack. Lisa went to school with Craig Mack.
Right,
Lisa,
yeah, that I know, right.
we know all of them. You know what I'm saying? You grew
Okay.
up. Here it is now. Everybody's grown. We all check into each other, even if it's 3 years later. You know, I had that talk with Biz almost 2 hours on the phone, and Biz wanted to do my event. I said to him, Biz, I call him Biz. I don't get into all of that because we're all like family. I said, listen, I would love for you to be there for me for my event. He said, I would love to do it, but just want to make sure that his schedule permits him to do that. You know, because he's on tour.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I got you, Doc. I got you. I got you. That's help. But he always made you laugh. He's just, yeah, always made you laugh. We would talk hours, just hours on the phone. And I was just so glad I got a piece of that, you know, with him. But I could always remember all the awesome memories, the parties out there in Brentwood, Long Island, the DJs that came out. You know, that could never take from you. Even with Red Alert, we're all very close to this day. That's family. That's love, you know? And then from there, I just started to get out. That's when I came back to Queens. And I stayed with my Aunt Sandra, who is, I know you heard of the Fat Bat Band.
Oh,
That's my family. Yeah, I still
right.
call my aunt.
That's
so
your
that
uncle, right?
Yeah. Bill Curtis, yeah. So, whew, he had parties like crazy. Those parties they had, the New Year's parties. His office was on Linden Boulevard, right over there. It's a lot of history. I mean, history after history with us, with this family. And we just act normal and natural, moving in, and people like, I didn't know you was this and that. I said, yeah, you know, we don't get caught up into that. That's not the way we were raised. We come from an entertainment family, and that's not the way we were raised. My father was with the LeBrun's brothers. That was David Howard Love, you know. We're still learning more things on him, you know. Kim, my sister Kim, is amazing as a photographer. Now, Kim ain't never been in this.
On the block.
Yeah. You see my sister on the block.
Yes.
That woman is amazing with an eye with black and white. Okay? I never seen, for her to come from here to there, it take people years. That's a blessing in itself. You know what I mean? That's a total blessing in itself. You know,
Absolutely.
and as Lisa does her thing, you know, she has a Janice band, the kids, right. And like I said, everything starts small and it'll get big as time go on. You know, so it's about marketing yourself.
Right.
Actually marketing, getting your business out there. Tell people that it's not about the money. The money will come, but as long as you get your credits. And I tell people that all the time, get the credits. And that credit will take you a long way, and that credit will go into a paid gig. And I was always taught that, even in business, because I graduated in entrepreneur school for Women's Business Institute in Westchester. And I graduated as a valedictorian. So I was the one that was speaking. I was the one that had everything together. I could do that with my eyes closed in the marketing. You know, I stayed back and I observed a lot. I just observed a lot. But getting into the other things I have done, I worked at WBLS with the legendary Vaughn Harper for decades.
I remember that.
Well, I did work, and I was 21 when I worked with him in 1986. It was awesome. And then down the line, it was amazing. Frankie Crocker been knowing me ever since I was a kid. Frankie Crocker. And it was great to work with the legendary people to this day. Sheila Scott, that's on WBLS. We're still close. We had our babies 2 hours apart. She still talks about that to this day. Our lovely Gregory. So Gregory is actually a celebrity kid. So it's myself, but I laugh because Gregory was a mess. They all know Greg. So to this day, they ask how Gregory is doing and stuff like that. But Vaughn, I learned a lot in radio. I really learned a lot in radio with him. I went back to school, and I went to, what was that? I went to radio school. And I got my FCC license because I needed to learn what it was to be on that board. And he taught me everything I needed to know just in case. You know, it's been very hard still on me because I miss him so much. He passed away July 16th as Biz Marquis. passed away around that time. I think
Wow.
it was just a lot. That's probably what was bothering me more than anything. I said, two people of this
That you
man,
knew,
this
right?
knew. Yeah, and it was rough. It was rough for me for last week. I just stayed quiet because I said, this is something. But on the other hand, God just lifts you up, and all the knowledge and the wisdom and the things I was learned and the protection. And I will always remember the things that Vaughn taught me. And he always said to me, "You keep your head up." He said, "You're gonna make it." He been at every fashion show I have modeled. All of them from you're talking about from the 80s all the way up. All the way up. Anything I'm doing, they was there. I will pack that house up, So I'm very thankful that I had all that wonderful blessings as time went on, in doing things. And then learning in 2006, I went on tour with Essence. I was in Diva Glam Inc. And we went on an 8-city tour. It was Essence, and it was sponsored by Total Pantene. That blew my mind because that was a lot. I was on there with Tyrese, Mary, Susan Taylor. It was big. I mean, the list goes on. I've never experienced anything like that. And then when I saw myself in all those magazines, I'm like, oh my God. And even on the posters, like hair posters, still to this day, people still see me. This is like 15 years later. Those were never done. They see me for shortcuts, colors, hot looking, So I'm just loving it. So, now you're doing your thing. You want to take that knowledge and that wisdom and give it to this new generation that's coming up. And let me tell you something. Yeah. And I've worked 1375. I was always a grinder. 1375, 1407. They don't even know what that is. They don't even know what showroom work is. Modeling is not an easy job, okay? They can get out there and get this money like this. It doesn't work like that. You got to show, you have to work. It's a journey. Like I'm sitting here now telling my story and sharing my story because I know what God has in me. The wealth is in me and taking it there. And sometimes when people see what you have, they try to, because they don't want to work with what they
right.
We're not doing that. Not here. So I learned a lot in my journey as time was going on and then taking care of my children. Worked for NYU for over 10 years, and then we got laid off in 2009. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I got my young kids. I was so upset. And the Lord told me, you're not going back there. He said, it's time for you to do your own entrepreneurship. You have it. And I learned a lot from the youth itself. And when I went to church, it was nice. The pastor said, I don't know who this is for, but there's a long stream of income that's coming, flowing income. And it was deep. It was really deep when he was talking. Then he said it again the second time when I went to church that second time. And I went up to him and said, you're talking about me. You were talking to me. The work was already there. And he looked and said, oh my God. I said, yes, it's me. And I explained to him what was going on. And he said that God has huge plans for you, big plans for you. And sometimes we lose the confidence in ourselves because I've been through so much that when people see it and believe in what you do, you gotta strive. We lost everything. All the people that I was with, we worked. That's why I said we can't trust man. We gotta trust God all the way live because I lost everything. I went all the way down. It was like God stripped me down to nothing. You know what I mean? And it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen from a beautiful place to a one room with your kids? Okay, everybody was going through it. People was losing their lives and different things and all this stuff that was going on. But you know what? And I'm gonna say this, when I sold that heavy seed in and I said, Lord, I'm going into these trials and tribulations. I don't know where you taking me, but I have to flow with it. I know I have to go through this for a reason. And I went through that fire for a reason. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things, and I want to share this because the Lord told me to share this and let other people. You don't know who's hurting out there. You don't know they're getting their last meal. You don't know the things that people are put out on the street. I was there with my son at that one time. God put me in a shelter overnight. And I was like, oh my God. Poor myself. My son almost went into a breakdown. I said, myself, God did this for a reason. It had to be a reason that I had to see. So down the line, I'm going to be helping people out. There's a reason for this to happen. And this is the time I'm sharing this story. You're the first ones to hear this story because everything is not going to be roses and peaches all the time.
Right, right.
Go through the dark to the light to go through that tunnel. You know what I'm saying? And I'm keeping it real with it because I'm not phony with nothing. Because the Lord said, speak what's on your heart today. Because you're going to help some people out that are going through it, especially through this COVID. You know, we lost loved ones through the COVID and also through other things. You know, but we have to stand strong and know that God is there and He's the one that got our back. Nobody else got your back but God. He got your back, you know, and that's important. And as time went on with my journey and the things that I went through, this was a thing that I had a disability. I lost my hearing. The touch, this is what I told you what happened. When I got laid off, the ceiling was to the floor. And I looked and said, what the heck is going on here? I could not, I was dragging myself. And at 2 days, I couldn't get off. I was rolling. I said, what's going on? I had to go to 3 top specialists. They all said the same thing. That left ear, they took tests. My sister worked in a hearing place. I went, and that's when she found out that ear and that left side, I lost 28% hearing. Not even a hearing aid was going to deal with this. I had to get surgery done, a couple of implants that they had to put in the side of the ear. So I'm waiting for my piece to come so I can clip that on. But as talking to you, I can hear. I had to go back into speech. I could not even get some of the words out. I had to get my thoughts together. It was a lot. That was a lot. And all of this was coming in at one time. That was in 2015. Then you turn to 2016, I could not speak. My whole voice was talking. And I didn't know what was going on. When I went to speech therapy, I said, I don't know what's going on. I can't pronounce my words. This is a lot for me. They had to put one of those things down my throat, and I had 2 pilots on my throat, on my vocal box. And I said, this is too much. This is too much. I said, God, when is this going to end? You know, so as me being strong and doing the things I had to do, I had to go underneath surgery. I kept it moving, and no one knew the pain I was going through. I still had JLF National School of Etiquette because I deal with the youth. My girl, Renelle Glover, her daughter, she does Cupcake Diva. Her daughter at the time was in high school. Yeah, at the time that was in high school at Democracy Prep in Harlem. She was doing a project, and the project for her was Fatherless Daughters. It was really interesting. So she came to me and she said, Miss Jackie, can you help me with the fashion part? I want to do that. That's what I want to do with my project. And I said, okay, when is it? And I had surgery to be done on April 8th, 2016. The show was on April 9th. Let me tell you how this went down. When I came out the hospital, I had a meeting with the parents, and my head was wrapped up. And I went to that meeting and had that conference meeting with my team. They were sitting there.
From your school, correct?
From my school, and then my business. Yes, and I just could not believe it. I sat there. They started crying.
Wow.
They said, you are a businesswoman. You care about these children. Because I had a show to do. The show must go on. When I went in for that surgery for my throat, and you're going to have Athena that we're going to get to that. Athena that you just hit up. And when we went there, all of them got my back on this. And we got that place together. My girl, Deidre Tate. As you know, Deidre Tate, very known sister. I've known her for over 30 years. That's my girl. We brought all the heavy hitters in for this show. Everybody, magazine, press, we got it together in 2 weeks. So I was in there with those children, and I taught those kids in that class. Their self-esteem was down below the ground. I was devastated when I saw. When I got finished with those kids, from the young ladies to the young men, For 2 weeks, those children was in that class while I was teaching them positive. They needed that. They really, really needed that. When I got those kids cleaned up, they were sharp to the nine. No, not even the 9, to the 10. They came in there with their hair cut, everything fine, ready to go. I had all the clothes ready for those children. It just felt like it was fashion week in this high school. The parents, it was something. Now, I have a problem with our parents of today, this generation. They want to go out and party, but you can't go and see your daughter or your son doing something that's positive. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen anything like this with these parents today. It hurt my heart because one of the young ladies that's had a low self-esteem, and she's on the thick side. So I had to change her clothes. She got a beautiful face. My girl, Kelly Michelle came in, Kay Michelle. She came in from Canadian International Modeling and Talent Agency that I worked with, my close sister, my friend, everything. She brought in the makeup and she did her thing. Miss Athena Dent was there. It was a lot of problems. The parents came in and helped. Athena could not believe it. But she said, Jackie, don't talk. We'll take care of everything. I'm coming out of surgery, all right, on the 8th. The show was on the 9th. You know I was there. You know I was there.
Wow.
My
Incredible.
everything.
That
And I still had anesthesia in my body. So I was determined. No one knew, but only the parents knew. They could not believe it. They couldn't believe it. I was right there in there for those children. It's about the kids. It's about what's going on. These children are the next generation, and a lot of these children are hurting right now. I mean, when I went out and did Stop the Violence in Mount Vernon, touring, all the wonderful things in Westchester, man, they all know me. I get in that school system, and I've major awards. The awards don't mean anything. When you can go in and have thousands of kids in the auditorium, you speak it and no one's talking and not even a pin drop. And then when it's over and kids are coming to take pictures with you and you touch those children's hearts, it's a wrap.
Motivation. That's motivation.
It's motivation, exactly. And traveling and doing things. I have gotten the toughest kids that were waiting there for me. You don't know what's going on in that household. But if this is a comfort for them and speaking with them and working with them and making them look good, that means a lot to me. And they just sat there. And young men, they don't talk. Girls talk. But young men, they were talking like this to me. They was talking like a bird, singing like a bird. I was in shock. But it was a comfort. So, you hear them out, you listen to them. You don't know what they're going through. But what it was whatever I came across with them, they came back and they wanted to talk. And I think that's a trust, and I know the gift that God has given me. I know that God is sending me on things that for the future that is definitely going down the line because I'm determined to do what I have to do. I'm here for a reason. I'm here for God's servant and to take care of his children. There's a reason for that. I have children in my class, as you've seen up there with Daniel Dent. Daniel's been with me for 6 years. He's a good-looking man. He's 21 now. He's so handsome. He's going to get a contract. When he went out there and he has done several fashion shows, and he has been in 4 movies, okay? And he's autistic, and he's amazing. People, they were like, you will never know. You will never know. He is well trained. I give everything to his mother. His mother is amazing. Yes, that's Athena. That's Athena. She's an author. She's amazing. Yeah, and when she came to me, I remember, and she told me, and I was busy with Miss Sophia Davis at the time. I was her director in fashion, getting everything together for her. She had asked me, she said, listen, she said, I have a special needs young man, my son, and I would love to get him into modeling. And I said, really? I said, I do have special needs. She went crazy. She said, oh my God. She says, when is your next class? So I told her what my next class was, and she brought him down. I kept working with him. I had a young lady, her name is Lexi. Lexi was in the class. She's 24 now. She'll be 25. With autistic children, they don't like noise. They will take their hands and go like this. Let me tell you something. Danny doesn't do that. Lexi doesn't do that. The mother called me and broke down crying. It's me. She's been with me for years. She said, I can't believe it. We went to the store. Lexi goes shopping and styles herself. She thanks me so much. Oh my God. She broke down crying. Lexi tells her mother, I got this. I can do it myself. Picks out her own clothes, does everything. When she did Brooklyn Fashion Week, we hit the front cover of the Global Biz magazine with Tyann Williams at the time, my beautiful young Tyann that has Pinky Says. Tyann and I has been doing a lot of work. I've been working with Tyann ever since she was 8 years old. 8 years
Right.
old. And giving these kids opportunities from cover work to press. We've did a lot of work.
Wow.
From Lexi coming down that runway, almost in 4-inch heels, and Mr. Robert Carnegie asked me, City Council, he said, wait a minute, Jackie. His daughter was in the show too. And he will let me come to the house, and I got to call my girl Michelle, come to the house and let me train his daughter. And his daughter was in that show, and I got her to tell me he couldn't believe it because everybody's not gifted for what they do.
Right.
When you have a calling on it, can nobody take that from you? You know what I'm saying? People love fashion, but they don't know the history of fashion. I teach that. I taught at FIT, and I'm thankful to Miss Gwen Sargent from Fashion Art Exchange. I'm in that organization. I was her president for 3 years.
So, let me just ask you one question. Let's go back to what I want to rewind because I remember, and I'm taking it back in, it had to be like 97, right? 97, and we was in Connecticut. Remember that show you did in Connecticut?
Yes. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, I remember that show. It was there. We was in Connecticut. We was early and everything. And I will never forget seeing you on stage for the first time, and it was like the way you just carried yourself was unbelievable, and you were just so professional, and you didn't let nothing stop you. Because I remember you was telling me when you went to turn around, you made a mistake, but you made it look like it was part of the routine. Right, you made it look like it was part of the routine, and I said, wow, that is just such a gift. So at what point in your age, because I know you've been through a lot, you've been around a lot in the industry and everything, your family and the background, your father, legendary David Love, and everything. At what point coming up that you realized that you had that in you, just like to get on stage and just like to make anything, just the model and just like with the etiquette you bring to everything? Like, when did you start discovering that self in yourself?
I started discovering that when I was a teenager. Because we did, let me tell you, back in the 70s, how many children of color are dancing at Lincoln Center a couple of times? How many children of color are dancing at Carnegie Hall a couple of times? We have been there, did that, done that, my family. We have did from Bernie Johnson. That is a privilege to get on that stage and tear that stage up. And I thank Miss Bernice Johnson from knowing what she saw in me when I was a child and a teenager, and the things that the reason why
and she's like legendary in New York.
Yes, huge. And will take that belt and hit that leg and tell you, and believe in you and strive better, and do those things. When I saw myself doing that, that's when I'm going to tell you this, at 19 years old. My grandfather came to see me in a fashion show here in Queens. You know that, I'm going to tell you this, that Checkers right across the street on Basie, I think, right from Rochdale?
I think they just
be a bar, used to be a club in the 80s. Right. Used to be a club, and inside it was really nice. There was always parties there. You were probably, younger. So I was 19, and I did a fashion show there for someone, and it was like an everyday fashion show. And the clothes were ridiculous. It was awesome. That's when my grandfather saw me and took that shawl, and wrapped that scarf. And when I ripped that scarf around and it was perfect with that hat, like Paris, it was over. He jumped out of his seat, him and my grandmother and my aunt. And he said to me, I'll never forget it to this day. Right. He said, you keep that modeling. He said, that's who you are at 19. He said, I've never seen nothing like that. He said, you're gifted. He said, you keep with the modeling and you keep pushing on to it. And that's why everything I do is an honor to my grandparents, because they believe and they've seen what you do. You don't do things for other people that want you to do. Do what makes you happy, and stick what makes you happy. From a hobby to a business, you know what I mean? You can do that. You make sure, and that's what you want to do in your life. Don't let anybody tell you something that they can't because they got their own issues. It doesn't work like that. You know, you stay strong, and I come from a strong background, and we keep moving. Most of us is a lot of girls in the family. You know, but we stay tough with it, stay focused with it, you know, and that's a thing with me that I really take that to heart. I take it to heart, and I said, now it's my dream to do for the children and do what's right. Like every other Saturday, excuse me, I have classes at Ripley Greer from 4:30 to 6:30. So I'm having new kids that are starting that God is bringing into my presence, which is awesome. So when we did the show in Westchester last week and you saw the pictures there, that was an amazing show. So I have a young lady that's 15 with that beautiful hat on. There's more I'm going to put up as time go on. I'm going to have her. She's coming Saturday with her moms. Her mother is an awesome woman, and she's just great. She's just great, Miss Gail. So I'm really excited about Saturday, and also I have another little young lady. She's 4. Her mother's name is Robin, and I just can't. It's just going to be great. I have a wonderful team of parents that God has blessed me with. I mean, they're there for me. We have our meetings every Thursday night. We are like booked right now. I have, just for the kids, we have, it's just beyond. It's like, it's just a beautiful thing that we have all these things that are going on from, from August all the way up until October. And that's a blessing. That's a true blessing. People say, no, we're waiting on you, Jackie, because we know what you do. And you never know the people, and they see and what you do. You know, that's important to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we have a lot of things that's coming up. Let me show you this here. This one. This show, Alisa Johnson. Now she's been doing the back to school for 8 years. Talent Youth Development Education.
That's September 11th.
Yeah. She's having a big event, and we're involved. She pulled, and Lisa pulled me in. Alicia wanted me to come in, and Lisa and I and Alicia actually put everything together. Everybody's working like a team of what they do. You know what I'm saying? And that's coming in. We have 2 great designers coming in. One is Kendra for Bella Baby is coming in. I have also Travis from Hustle Simmons is going to be coming in from Westchester. He's going to come and do his thing. And then we have artists that are performing. I have the amazing celebrity chef Ricky. He's coming in to do his thing. He's going to give back the time of doing it. Now, my kid's got a chef now. Okay, God sent that. I got my own chef. I ain't got to worry about nothing no more. He said, he's so funny. So, and he's thankful. And ever since he's been with me, he's been blessed. I've been booking him, getting everything done. He's been getting like crazy. He's also doing September 25th at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center. So that's going to be a big shing thing with Miss Dara Bragg for the Cedar Awards. So she gave me an award in 2018. So this is her 5th year. But I have an amazing young lady that's coming up, and we're going to be doing her show in February. That is Latanya Duncan.
Oh, that's one in Alabama.
You saw that?
When we going to, I'm going out there.
That's going to be awesome. So I'm bringing 5 designers down. People want to join in because this is a serious cause about the One Heart organization. And her story is incredible. So she's coming up, and she's going to show her pieces for that event for Miss Dara Bragg, because it's Miss Dara Bragg's 5th year for the Cedar Awards, and we're going to do a dedication to Miss Dara Bragg's mother, because she passed away from heart disease. So it's going to be huge. We have amazing sponsors that are coming in for that event. We are so excited about it. I'm one of the attributing sponsors. So is Latanya, is one of the attributing sponsors. She came from Alabama, down south, Waterman. Chef Ricky is a attributing sponsor for that. And then we have Eddie from his plush vodka. They came in and they're sponsoring it. I called them and they said we in. So they're coming in, and then I have my wonderful Antoinette. She's going to sponsor also the wines and different things for that event. So it's just a blessing, you know. It's really a true blessing. And then
well, let me ask you this, Jackie, because what you're doing is like very heroic with these children. You know, especially you're working with children with disabilities. Right. I mean, it's hard to deal with children on a basis, just having them learn like simple arithmetic and stuff. But I mean, to train them to walk down the runway and to just do certain things, like what is just some of your techniques? Can you like share that with us? Like, how do you like get through to them? And like, what do you do?
You know what? The main thing, you got to have patience with them.
Patience.
People don't have patience. That's the patience. I love what I do. I can see to bring out the best of that child. You know, a lot of people don't have that gift like that, you know.
Right.
And if you can get a child, wait, I'm going to go back to you. I was at a casting, and I was on with the top directors sitting at this casting, okay? And they're just on their phone looking, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, okay, this is a couple years ago. And I said, what are you looking for at the end of the casting? He said, well, these children are not ready yet. And I believe, and I told his parents, get these children into the workshops, and I do educational workshops besides fashion and acting and all of that. And I'm exclusive because I work hand in hand. I'm working with two actually of the directors. They're celebrity directors, and I've been working with them. And some of my kids are with one of them is Wendy McKenzie. I worked with her for a long time, and then we have Tracy Moore. But you know, when you're with them, and they're coming from there, she's going to call me first because the training comes from them, but we're all working together like a team. And that's really, really important. And the things that I see with the children, the main thing I pull out that shyness. When parents say, oh, they're shyness, I said, okay, and so what? Everybody's shy. I had shyness coming up, you know, but I overcame it, you know, and then being around the right people to have that self-esteem within myself. And I had to really give them what they needed. I have something that I want to share with you all also, because in the class, I have a meditation called I Am Who I Am. We start that off, and I say, I am powerful. I am strong. I am intelligent. I am fearless. I am a beautiful young queen. They have to say this all the time. And I see the difference when they're going out and they're speaking and being interviewed. Things that I project with them, positive images, things that sometimes you got the meanies out there to try to tear you down and know it's them, it's not you. You know what I'm saying? So I come in with tough love to show them, so when they come out, they're coming out like just like awesome queens and diamonds, like who they are. And even what my special things, like with Danny, when he came to me, I had to figure out, I said, okay, I had the picture, and I said, let me work with him. Let me get him where I need to work. He was restless, how they do when you have autistic children. And I said, okay, let's see what he's going to do. And his mother was in the room with me for a minute, and then as he got everything done, she walked out. And I said, Danny, stop. Stopped. I said, Danny, this is what we're going to do. I worked with him. I walked with him. I positioned his feet. And this was 6 years of training. And made it right. And I was the other model. I would be at one end. He will come this way. And he will walk that way. And then as time went on, I put in a style for him. He kept that style. So when he comes up, he will do what he has to do. You see what I'm saying? Now, Saturday when he comes, I'm going to do the T form with him. So he comes up straight. He does the man walk. He does both sides, this side, beautiful, and he models back. He turns, make it simple, smile, and he's out. Who does that?
Right.
It's incredible. So when people look at in shock, they're really in shock to see, I've never seen that before, you know. So now Saturday when he comes, he follows everything. It's a comfort for him, like his mother said. He loves somebody. He found something that he's good at. And he'll say, "Hi, Miss Jackie," and they'll say, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine." He's excited. Like when the kids see me, they get excited. They look forward to coming to class, because I make it fun for them. I joke with them, and I'm serious with them. But they get down to business. But to show them that the love is there, and everything that I install in them, you keep doing that. They remember everything, and as they say to you, "Oh my God, I remember what Miss Love Calloway taught us. This is what she taught us." And a lot of the kids they have their own businesses. They're doing extremely well. Some of the parents, like the kids that I know, 16, 17,
Oh, where'd you go?
Uh-oh. Please pardon the interruption, people. She'll be back momentarily.
Miss Love will be back. Miss Love had a lot to say.
Absolutely. Okay, she's back, ladies and gentlemen. And let the show continue.
You back.
Oh, okay. That's fine. It's good.
Yeah, you're good, love.
So, dealing with the kids and getting them situated, people watch everything you do. They watch when they get ready to go out for shows. They watch the way they're polished, the way they come in. "Hi, Miss Jackie." No, I don't play that. My name is Miss Jackie or Miss Love. You can do that. We're not doing Jackie. You're not my equal. You don't do that. And it shows respect.
And respect. That shows in the respect. Right. I got you. Yeah.
And that goes a long way, So that way, like we have so many events coming up, the kids are very respectful. And you never know when you get calls and people are watching you from the back end and saying, "Miss Love, we would like you to come in. We would like you to do things, some things that we want to sit down and talk to you about." I've worked with cerebral palsy children. Wow. And that was up in Westchester. We did that with Tyann's collection at the kids there. That was at the plaza. The kids were eating truffles. Okay.
Wow.
So very high end. That was an amazing show up there. And that was done. Miss Athena Dent had that set up for me. She was with an organization at that time. And Danny was sharp. Danny was really sharp. And then there was another young man at cerebral palsy. He was sharp. He had on a bad suit with the tuxedo, and you could tell him nothing. He was out there doing it. And it made me almost cry. Just to see that, and just to have the non-special needs children mixed with special needs children. That's
right.
And then
like you said, that's like amazing. Have them work together and everything, and you just being a perfectionist in your craft and everything, and you just like what you're doing is that you're giving these children an opportunity just to do things that they probably just never thought they would ever be able to do. That they just thought was just so far-fetched, and everything. And then you're developing into them where they're going out to get contracts. So they, like you said, of course, that can be reckoned with and everything. And that is just like awesome. And so, I mean, right. I mean, like I said, it's just like incredible because you got some people who just don't want to deal with kids on a regular basis, but you're taking a step further. You're dealing with special need kids and everything. You're bringing out talent to them and everything, and that's just awesome, Jackie.
I have another young lady, but her mother is working catering, and she has a catering company, but she'll be back. My baby girl has been with me ever since she was 4 years old. And her mother, Tatiana, spoke to me about her daughter. Her daughter lost her fingers. And she's about Dayla's age now. No, she's 11. And the fingers were amputated because that was a big, it was rough for her. And she told me the story, what happened. And she brought it in the class. She was with me ever since she turned 4 years old. I think 3 or 4. And I started working with her. The whole side of the right side was paralyzed. Her arm was in, and the feet, everything. And I said, okay. I said, God, show me what to do with this baby. And what I did was I put my hands on her. I prayed over this little girl. I got her situated. The first time she was crying. When the second time she came back with mommy, she told her mother to get out the room.
Wow. So she was ready.
She said, and then when I did Springtime in Paris, that was her first fashion for before Mercedes-Benz left Fashion Week, and I was on the calendar for that. I sold out. I was down on 9th Street at the Holiday Inn at that time, and everybody, I had in Chief of Essence magazine, and I invited her to the event, and everybody's head turned when that woman came in that door. It was something I will never magical. And Athena said she will never forget that. She said, I've never, ever seen, because my shows have a thing. So the kids modeled off of Josephine Baker when she close out French music. They never did black and white, Paris all the way. People still talk about that to this day. I've other ones, every time my shows come in, they were going crazy. I had vendors, the vendors sold out. They called me out, diversity of people. They said, Jackie, I just want to thank you. They were buying my merchandise. Oh my God, anything you need, just let me know. I always get that. Because when your spirit is right, your spirit and you have to be right. Yes. So once you spread it out, that love, everything else just smooth. It goes smoothly. But when Tatiana's daughter, my baby there, went down that runway, she had to invite the doctors, and then when they saw it, they couldn't believe it. Her arm was down. She was modeling, and her hand was on her little hip doing her thing. Both of them, they were in shock. They were in shock. They couldn't believe it. Because, like, you know, the natural, when man says no, God says yes. Everything is possible. We're not doing it. And I was determined, and I would massage her.
She's still there?
Having a little connection issue here.
Jackie?
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we apologize for this brief intermission. We're having some technical difficulties, but again, we will have the phenomenal Miss Jackie back on shortly.
We see her face.
And not in a freeze frame, we should probably see her face.
Right? Wow, but you know, Jackie is phenomenal. One thing, and to get back, I want to say about her is that I knew her for a very long time. Okay, and
the energy,
very long. Yeah, we're family. That's my big sis right there. And one thing about her is that she's humble. Okay, and she's modest. Like, you know, she done did so many things for so many people, and behind, she's behind like the reason of so many people being like where they at, and you just never know. You know, like she doesn't go, like she has bragging rights. She's entitled to bragging rights that she don't go after. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Just hearing her opening story that you knew she was destined for this phenomenal greatness. She dropped so many jewels in like 15 minutes to where I'm sitting over here starstruck, or like just hearing it. You know, me on the outside looking in, like, you know, Jacqueline's just, you hear the fashion, but you don't see her hands on. You've seen her hands on. So me, I can only imagine just her so graceful, you know, being what the expression touched by an angel really means. Yeah. She's the epitome of that. So just having her here is a blessing to share her story to the world with the Misfit crew. It's phenomenal.
And the thing about it is, like, she has so much more that she wants to do and that she's going to do. You know, it's like nothing's stopping her and everything. And like I told her, it's like hard enough. People don't want to deal with kids on a regular basis, but she's just like taking it a step, and she's dedicated too. She is just like so dedicated and everything. And you know, she's definitely someone who's just been there, done that, doing it. And like nobody's like, you know, it's like hands down. Like I don't even see how she like, and then she lives her own normal life as that too, like regular life, like personal life. You know,
the humanitarianism, it's just, I don't know, it's tear breaking because you don't find people like that no more.
No, you don't. That's dedicating their time, you know, to children and help craft children. You know what I'm saying? And especially in the world that we are now, and especially like coming off of COVID and a pandemic. You know, a lot of people is like, oh no, still stay away from me. But she's getting there and getting out there, trying to make sure these kids stay focused, trying to make sure, you know, she keep, you know, sending the message to these kids and everything that, hey, you know what I'm saying, you can do what you want to do. You know, and like she said, it's patience too. She's saying the same thing yesterday that Dominique said, you know, it's patience, you know, because Dominique hit on the fact that, you know, I know, you know, I have a disability, but nothing's wrong with me. I can do whatever I want to do, but it's just going to take a little bit longer. And that's exactly the what Jackie, you know, Jackie, that's her method, you know, that she do with these kids. Listen, you guys are special and everything, but look, it's just going to take us a little bit more longer to get you there, to get you down that runway. You know what I mean? And she is just like awesome. And you know, I told you, Jackie, she had a story to tell you. I mean, she done did a lot. She done did a lot and everything.
She hasn't popped back into our studio, so I'm assuming she's going to get back in contact with you on the situation. And anytime she wants to come back, the door is open, no matter what. So I hope y'all enjoyed this very special segment of I Am Who They Want. We're gonna wait, she's back before we close out. She's back for a minute, so we're gonna give a few more minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Hi. That's okay. We're not letting it stop.
Absolutely.
So many good, great things going on. Great things
tell us about what's coming up. We know we got the thing on September 11th and everything, the back to school. And then also the thing in Alabama that I'm going with you to down there, and I can't wait.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. Let me tell you something. This young lady, Latanya Duncans and K. Michelle Jones, this woman, like I said, she's been doing this for 8 years. Her soul and her spirit is amazing, and she sells out. This is her big event in February, and I was just honored to do that. And she's coming up to do her shoot. She'll be up on September 23rd, 24th. The shoot is going to be on with the hottest models that I'm bringing in and the hottest young models up in comp fashion. These little Naomi Campbell's amazing. Just something else. And one of the top celebrity hairstylists is going to be styling the hair. I have my other wonderful, her name is Toya. They call her Little Pie Fish. She is Little Pie Fish. She's so cute. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just got to say to Robin, my new parent, and she put me onto her sister. So she's a tattoo artist also. So she's getting ready to come out, you know, and she's my son's age. She's 25. And that's what I'm up and coming and get their career out there and work with these young adults. You know, that's what it's about. So they can come in and understand and give them that wisdom so they can be longevity and stay humble. My main thing in this game, you got to stay humble in this game. It ain't about you. It's about God. He can take it away with you from the...
Whatever you get, he can take it away from you. Exactly.
Just the drop of a dime, you done. And I've been through trauma. I've been through the people that want to talk about you behind your back, but they ain't in your face. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. I still love you anyway, but you can't stop the greatness of what God has. You don't even know. It's the first time I'm telling my story. You have not even been in my shoes, what I've been through, and I walked it. When somebody else walked in them shoes, we can relate. K. Michelle walked in them shoes. Me and her can relate.
Right.
Tanya walked in the shoes, we can relate. There's a lot of people that I know that are real, not phony. We real women that are doing our thing, and God is bringing other women around me and protective of you, and we can talk and we can relate to different things that we have to do now. We don't have no time for none of the nonsense anymore. We really don't. There's a sister that I'm going to talk about too. This woman here, her name is Kimberly. This is her book called Beat Magazine.
Bring it over to the camera a little bit more, Jackie.
I'm going to be in this magazine in September.
Okay.
Yeah, this magazine is hot. She's got wonderful things here. I met her at Don Bassingame event for New Day Associates. And he's always got, if anybody know who Don Bassingame is is one of the top publishers in the country for African American. This man is amazing. You go and see Hype here on the stand, Sheen magazine. You're talking about today's black man, today's black woman. All of that, that man is still doing his thing. Okay, I've been knowing this man ever since I was 17 years old. And I've been in his shows. I've been on his panel. I've did a lot of touring. My first tour was with Little Kim. I did that 2-day tour, and Kim went berserk when she saw those models. I made it like they're coming out of Vogue. I had one of the top designers, my girl Jill Shannon. She graced 7 covers for Today's Black Woman with her swimsuits. Those, if you remember them swimsuits back in that time from Today's Black Woman, they went crazy. That was all Jill Shannon, all of it. And they were looking for an awesome designer for swimsuits. It was her. I said, I got somebody for you that will put it on you. The hottest models, everything. We have did everything from the hair Grammy Awards. I did it, done it, loved it. With WLIB. Oh God, the list just goes on. It goes on. And then also working with Oscar de la Renta, Carmelina Herrera. We did Bill Blass. That was an honor to work with the late Oscar de la Renta. I was a nervous wreck. I was like, oh my God, I've been watching Fashion Week since I was a kid coming up. And my mother, that was one thing my mother did do. She would bring me a fashion book home every week. Vogue at the time.
That's where it started.
That's where it started. That's where it started. And I kept getting into different things and teaching myself until I got out there and knowing those things. But this woman right here, this is a sister that has a story that we want to bring her on. She has another magazine called Billy, and we want to support her. Definitely want to support this sister here, and Pete. So she's getting ready. She's on the rise. And I told her, I'm there for you. I got you. Another sister that, this one for the kids called So Vivid. One of my students, Amarella Screens, is going to be on this cover. I styled it. I can't wait. Miss Ariel, this is one of her magazines. And I think on that cover in here too, there's a lot of the kids that I know. I know Tyann's work is in here. I told her I'm going to send it to her. So, and on the teen one, Tyann is on the cover of her work on the teen. So I'm excited for this magazine, So Vivid, to be coming out. She's from, both of them are living in Virginia, Miss Kimberly and our wonderful husband. And Ariel lives in Virginia too. So, you want to help our people of color out. And that's important. That's important. And when people come to you humbly and they don't know who you are, who got the connections, God just puts everything together. And that's what I'm here. I'm here to help people. I'm not here to hurt people, but I'm gonna keep it real because we were taught in tough love. And I'm not hurting your feelings. I have to keep it real with them. When something's not right, you have to learn. And then when you get back, you're gonna be like, well, you know what? Miss Jackie told me about that. She was right about it. I can call her because I've been there and then did it already. And we were taught by the best. So I want the best from you. There's no excuse. Just like with Danny, I treat him like a model. I don't treat him no special than nothing. Only thing, I stay there with him. So he sees me when I'm there because that's different. But when he did that casting, they were in shock. They were blown away. They didn't know what to say. But he's modeling for the men's collection for Mr. John Blackson Games event. And then Lisa and I are coming in. And Lisa's going to have Janice's dance to perform. Yeah, got to go to that. That's going to be at the Marriott Hotel on, October 31st. And I'm going to be producing with the fabulous Terrell, amazing designer. He's going to do the children's collection this time. He does
so all these events you're going to put up on the block, right? All these events you're going to advertise on the block?
Yes, each time.
Jackie Love, they can find her on the block and everything. And definitely she's going to post all the events that's coming up where you can find her, where you can come see her and her students and all the wonderful things she's done and everything. And Jackie, I just want to thank you so much for being here. Got a next segment getting ready to start in another 5 minutes. Freaky Friday. I love it.
You sound like somebody I want to talk to her, definitely. When you was telling me,
Freaky Friday is about to start. So, Monet, she specializes in a big gal thing. She got my class and all that stuff. Althena, I'm gonna have her on soon and everything. Althena, didn't you see her comments and stuff? And then also Jackie, we want you coming back. Want you coming back.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm gonna come back. I have someone. I have to do another interview next month for television. So I'm like, wow, it's just been, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. They said, this is your time, Jackie. You put in the time and you stayed in it. Fighting the this, the that. But I laugh, and at least I laugh. Because when they say, all the different things, but when you have support behind you and they know the real who you are, the real Jackie. I take no nonsense. I love people, but I'm not gonna let you step on me. It's not gonna happen.
No. Well, we want to thank you so much for sharing your story with us. A lot I've already known, because like I said, that's Jackie, my big sis.
Right. But I'm just humble for the opportunity to be graced by your presence, to be educated into everything, and you're phenomenal. And like she said, we definitely want to set you back up to come back anytime you want to hang out and see how the Misfits really act up. You're more than welcome to.
You got the right one.
And the block is going to be, coming to a couple of her events and everything. So I'll be live at a couple of events that she got coming up and everything. And you can always find her on the block and everything. But Jackie, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Entertainment and everything. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everything you done did, coming on, posting on the block, letting people follow you and everything and see all of, the special gifts that you have. And I love you.
I love you too. I love you too. Little sister. I love you too.
All right.
Once again, people, this has been another segment of the I Am Who They Want show. We hope you tune in. We'll go jumping back in less than 5 minutes. And we're out, ladies and gentlemen.
Freaky Friday.